Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here today. My name is Fukasya with student ID number 13016250023. Today, I'm going to present how the height of a liquid change relative to its volume there when filling different type of laboratory glassware and containers. Before we look at each container, let's understand the core mathematical principle behind this. We use a fundamental calculus concept. This formula simply means that the speed or rate and which the liquid level rises in inversely proportional to the cross-sectional area of the containers. If containers is narrow, the area is small, to the height rises quickly, creating a step curve. It is a wide, the area is large, so the height rises slowly, creating a flat curve. If the walls are straight, the area is constant, creating a perfectly straight diagonal line. Now let's analyze each container one by one. First, let's look at the beaker. A beaker is perfect cylinder. This means its cross-sectional area remains completely constant from the bottom on the top. Because the area does to change, the water level rises at the steady, uniform speed. Therefore, if the graph is perfectly straight, diagonal is the diagonal line starting from the origin. The beaker is perfect cylinder. Next, second is the conical flask. This container is very wide and at the bottom and continuously narrow toward the top. As we add more liquid, the surface area shrinks. Because the space gets thicker, the liquid level is forced to rise faster and faster. This result is grab and start gentle but curves sharply upward. We call concept up. And third, we have the bowling tube. This tube has two distinct parts. At the very bottom, it has a rounded hemispherical base. As it fills, this area quickly widens out, causing the height rate to slowly down slightly at first. However, once the liquid passes the curve, it's enter the main cylindrical body where the walls are perfectly straight. Thus, the graph show a small curve at the base and then transition into the steady straight line. Next, fourth is the rounded bottom flask. The main body is sphere. So the wide starts small, expand to maximum in the middle, and then narrow again as the reaches the neck. This creates in this neck sphere curve with inflection point in the middle. Once the liquid enters the thin, strange neck, and the area becomes very small and constant, causing the graph to suddenly change into a very steep a strange line. Next, fifth, let's look at the pin glass. This is a plain pin glass. Unlike the conical glass, a pin glass flares outward. It is narrow at the base and gets wider toward to the top. As the liquid level rises, the surface area constantly expands. Since the liquid has more room and spread out, the height rises more and more slowly. This creates a graph that curves downward or conveys down, becoming fatter over time. And finally, we have the volumetric flask. The base of the volumetric flask holds most of the volume and curves inward to the top, creating a comprehensive curve. However, it is most defining feature and it is extremely thin, a long neck, because the neck has a microscopic sectional area. Even a single drop of liquid will cause a massive jump in height. As a result, the moment liquid hits the neck, the grab shot upward in the almost vertical, assemblies a steep, strange line. In conclusion, by understanding the relationship between height, volume, and cross-sectional area, we can accurately predict and draw how any containers fills up using calculus concept. That concludes my presentation. Thank you very much for your time and attention. Um, I would be happy. Thank you so much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.